It's quite the find. Hello friends, and welcome back to Crow's Thrifty Finds. My name is Melanie. So this week we are going to talk about what is selling on eBay lately, specifically what has been selling for me on eBay lately. I know this past week for me personally has been a little slow, but last week was super busy, as was the previous week before that. So, you know, the usual ebbs and flows that eBay gives you for reasons we don't really know, but that's okay. So let's talk about it. What has sold recently? So first off, we have an item from the show Veggietales. This is a religious show, and Veggietales stuff, in my experience, sells like hotcakes, and this was no exception. This is a toy called Larry Silly Suits. I paid literally $1 for it at a garage sale. It sold within a day or so for $40, leaving me a $39 profit before eBay fees. So that's a great thing. Veggietales is good stuff. Next, we have a Lisa Frank box set. Now, let me tell you, I picked this up for $1 and I was super excited because I knew that this was going to be a home run. And surprisingly, it actually wasn't. It sat for quite a long time. I had it priced decently high, and I did turn down some offers that, you know, in retrospect, I wish I hadn't. But in the end, it sold for $40. I paid $1 for it, so you can't really lose. But I ended up making $39 on that as well before eBay fees. Lisa Frank stuff is still hot. It just, you know, it just depends on what it is. Some things sell more than others. Next, we have, I mentioned this in another video, but I want to highlight it again just one more time. A mask from the movie Scream, a Scream mask. I had bought this in a previous video for 50 cents. It sold for $99.99. So $100 sale for something you bought for 50 cents. You can't beat that. So that is a $99 profit before eBay fees. And so you all know I do charge shipping almost every time. So these, you know, and, you know, maybe I make a dollar or two from the shipping at times, but I'm not counting that in these figures. Next, we have a Nerf Zombie Strike Nerf gun. You might remember it from a previous video. I paid $2. It was sort of a free will garage sale, whatever you wanted to pay for it. And I offered $2 and the lady took it. I sold it for $29.99, leaving a $27 profit. Next, another item I purchased not too long ago at a garage sale, the Grocery Gang lot. I had some figures and I had the garbage truck. I had paid $8 for that, and it sold for $32.99, leaving me a profit of $25. Next, we have a lot of LOL dolls. What's funny about this is I bought this box for the Monster High dolls. I haven't even listed the Monster High dolls yet, and they're probably not even really worth a ton of money. I just love buying them. But anyway, I paid $20 for the whole box, and it was mostly LOL dolls, and I sold those LOL dolls for $90, leaving me a profit of $70. Next, we have a Coach ID holder lanyard. Coach still sells, folks. Don't avoid Coach. Just be careful and do your homework and make sure it's something desirable that people want. This thing had a great sell-through ratio, so I was excited to pick it up. Brand new for $5, sold for $37, $32 profit in my pocket. Next, we have a lot of hairband cassettes. Now, I've been sort of building a cassette collection, but once I got that free lot on the curb in, you know, a few videos back and during our big trash pickup, I knew it was time to start listing. So this was the first one to go, the first lot to go. It sold for $44.99. And basically, I pocketed out about all of that. I mean, I did, like I said, I did have some other cassettes purchased, but not very many. This is the majority of these cassettes that I've sold recently have all been from that free lot on the curb. So that is a fantastic profit, and people are buying cassettes. They want them, and this sort of is proof of that. Also, I just want to take a minute to remind you all, if you haven't, to like this video and subscribe. Caesar wants you to do that too. My bird, he's letting you know upstairs to do that. It helps my channel absolutely when you do both of those things. So do make sure to like the video, as long as you like it. If you don't, then you don't need to. Subscribe if you haven't. Okay, moving on. We're going to talk about those aggressive skates I picked up. I bought them for $5 not too long ago at a garage sale in a prior video. And I sold those for actually even more than I thought I would. I kind of priced them high because they were the only ones of their kind on eBay. And they sold within a few days for $150. So definitely keep your eyes out for vintage aggressive skates because they are valuable. Next, we have Sweet Valley High books that I paid $8 for at a garage sale not long ago at all. They sold within a few days for $55. So if you get a big lot of those, it's definitely worth picking up. I made a profit of $47. The next item I purchased on Facebook Marketplace. I had to drive to the middle of nowhere to get it. But when I see G1, my little pony and accessory lot for $15 on Facebook Marketplace, I'm going to make a little drive and go pick them up. So I had to drive about 25 minutes, but it was worth the trip. I ended up selling those at auction for about $71, and that's a $56 profit. People love buying G1 My Little Ponies. And whenever I get them, I lot them because sometimes it's hard to really know exactly the value on them. But people will fight over them, and fight they did. So that was a good sale. Next, we have a Bratz Christmas tree. I love when things sell out of season. I had imagined I was going to be stuck with this big box in my house until at least November, and it left. I paid $5 for it originally from a garage sale last summer. It did not sell through the holidays. I probably had it overpriced, but it did sell in June for $50. So that's a $45 profit. It was kind of an unusual item. I don't think there's many of these out there, but you know, definitely worth being on the lookout for. I would buy another one. I would just price it lower than I had it priced. Next, an item I was very excited to pick up because I know how valuable vintage ashtrays can be. And this vintage McDonald's ashtray was no exception. I picked this up at Goodwill for $5 and I sold it for $85. So that is a nice $80 profit before eBay fees. Keep your eyes out for ashtrays. If they look old, it's worth a Google Lens search because many of these vintage ashtrays are worth money. And I know when I started my channel, I actually didn't even know about it. And some of you all clued me into it. So thank you, viewers. We are teaching each other. Next, there is a Nerf mini golf set. I paid, gosh, maybe $1 or $2. This came from the bins. So you know how that goes. It's kind of hard to know exactly how much you paid. But I would venture a guess it was $1 or $2. Didn't weigh very much. Just a big box. But it sold for $25. So, you know, approximately $23 profit. I will take it. I cannot wait to go back to the bins. I'll be going back in August, and the time can't come soon enough. Next, new old stock. Let's talk about that for a second. I picked up this Ivory Snow new old stock laundry detergent. Paid $5 for it. It was at a thrift store. And it sold for $29. People like the old stuff. They want to use it still, even if it's not exactly the same anymore. So, or not made anymore. I'm not sure if that soap is even made anymore. Couldn't tell you, but people buy the new old stock. So I made $24 before eBay fees. Next, I paid up a little bit for these. These are Doc Marten patent leather kids boots. And the kids boots from Doc Marten sell just as well as the adults. So I don't often buy kids stuff, but when I see Doc Martens, I will buy kids Doc Martens if I can get them for a good enough price. This wasn't, the best deal ever, but I paid $10. They sold for $30. I made $20 before eBay fees, which is generally what I shoot for as far as profit goes. I like to make at least $20, before eBay fees on every sale. Preferably more, but $20 at least. Next, another cassette lot. And this lot and the next lot went to the same person, so they all sold within a minute of each other, which was very exciting. So these are a lot of AC/DC cassettes. AC/DC is still very popular to this day, so if you see AC/DC cassettes of any kind, pick them up. There was even 2 cassettes that were the same, but there was different designs on the artwork, so, I kind of treated it like 2 separate albums. I didn't, just have only one version of it, so I figured some collector would probably want both. And sure enough, they sold with duplicates and that went for $35. And again, most of those were from the free box on the curb, so this is pretty much all profit here. And then, last but not least, we have an 80s rock cassette lot with a variety of artists. When I do cassettes, I just lot them by genre, basically. I even had to have my husband help me on this because he's really good with 80s music. So he helped me out, and we lotted similar stuff. And this particular lot sold for $22.99. Almost all of my listed cassettes are gone. I think there's maybe one lot left. They just go like hotcakes when you list them. So list cassettes, find cassettes, buy cassettes. It's worth your time. And that completes the list for this week. I thank you all for watching. And again, my name is Melanie. This is Crow's Thrifty Finds. I'll see you next week.